come up to the Upper Stour again. First time it's been fishable for about a month. I've got a revamped Normark Titan. I've changed the handle from the sliding fittings, an original Titan, not a Titan 2000. Going to tackle up with a crow quill taking about 4.5 grams or so, and a size 16 hook with an Olivet bulk. In a minute I'm going to mix up some gross gardons with some ground bait and fish with bread punch. There's a good pace on the river. You might be able to see the leaves going through. I think the gate's pretty wide open down at the bottom. I'd prefer it if it was about a foot higher but slower, but this is what we've got and this is what we have to fish with. Last winter the Stour seemed to fish well until about the first week of December. Then we had a month of flood and frosts and I wasn't very good. I think I had a cold or something and I didn't get out for 4 weeks. And when I did get back on the river and it was quite good conditions, I really struggled to do very much at all. So I'm hoping this year it's going to be a lot better. I did get some chub last year, but that was about it for bags of roach, just odd roach. I'm going to stop the Olivet about a foot above the hook loop, just a double overhand loop on there. Main ground bait, gross gardon. This is a fairly fine mix actually. It used to be a coarser one. I think this is it used to be just one mix that was fairly coarse, and now they seem to have a black one, a coarse one and a fine one. This is the fine one. I'm just going to top it up with a bit of brown crumb. And give it a good old mix. Adding ground bait to the water, and when it's mixed at first it's quite sloppy, and then you'll find after 5 minutes this will be really firmed up, and that's what it's going to have to go down in a fair current. There's quite a bit of foam on the water today. I don't know if the Water Authority are up to their tricks with releasing sewage, I don't know. And then I'm going to fish a bit of bread punch, as I say, on a 16 and take it from there. Okay, we're finally ready to go. I'm guessing the depth about 8 or 9 foot. Let's see how we get on with that. One thing I'm going to mention is when I've been fishing, I haven't plumbed the depth, but I've been within 2 or 3 inches on each swim I've fished, and the level varies quite a bit here. It's running off quite hard. I think it comes down to experience, where you can look at the swim, look at the flow and have a good idea whether it's going to be deeper or shallower. On here, if it's shallower it speeds up, and obviously if it's deeper it slows down according to how narrow or wide it is. It's I call it having auto depth installed into my brain. But I think from fishing the tidal froom, where we never plumb the depth down there, you just keep going deeper until you hit the bottom and then ease off a bit. And of course you constantly have to change the depth as the tide drops or comes in and rises, and try and monitor that by used to use like a piece of reed in the mud as the tide went out. It's certainly worth doing. But yeah, one of those tricks that you get from experience. Of course, if you don't know a water, or like on a still water, then you've got to plumb the depth and get a feel for it. But it does help an enormous amount when you're fishing. I've no great expectations at the moment. This river has just been hard, and I'm not sure where the fish are in these conditions. There should be some roach down here. Put in a golf ball fairly hard, and not very far out. Just try there. Hold it back. A little bit too deep, not very much. A bite near the groundbait as well. That's a nice sign. That's a nice little roach to start with. Really important that groundbait goes down and then breaks up, which is why the gross guard on is important, because it will hold it together. If you put it in and it just goes down as a cloud, it's not going to hit bottoms anywhere before Blandford, which is several miles away. That was a very good bite then. Not far down the swim. Something was just slowing it down then. It was holding up, most peculiar, but it hooked a fish. It's a nice little roach, not a monster, but you have to land in it. Good £1/2, very nice. Nice start to the day. Get a few of those, it'd be worthwhile. A small one now. You'd think the bites would be really bold with the fish hungry, and yet they're tiny little bites. Just another small roach of 2 or 3 ounces. Just sort of almost plucking at it. Another half decent one. This original Titan rod, it really is a superb rod. It's very light with this screw fit handle, which still needs a bit of tweaking, a bit of filing down. Refitted the rings not very well, but they'll do. It's more tippy than the 2000, but yeah, really delightful rod to fish with. Back in the day I bought the Avenger, which is also a nice rod. This is a little bit lighter and more of a general rod, whereas the Avenger is good for big croak wheels, which is what I've got on now, or big wagglers. This is a lovely waggler rod, and like I say, now the reel doesn't fall off every 5 minutes. It's excellent. A little choblet for a change, not very big. Mine is Grandad. Ooh. Just starting to try a bit further out. I think I bumped one, I don't know. I thought I bumped a fish there, but I just got some reeds back. Just going to try it a bit deeper and hold it back really hard at the start of the trot. Further down it seems to shallow up a bit, and it's dragging there quite a lot, and see if that helps. The wind's stop start, it's brightened up a lot. The weather is changing, it's nice and mild today, it's about 12 degrees. Overnight there's some colder air coming down. Wind's going to go to the north, which will be an upstreamer, not this downstreamer. And it will be much colder tomorrow, or a bit colder tomorrow, and even colder the next day. I think I'm going to give this just another 5 minutes or so. It's a flurry of activity and then nothing, and try another swim, either just upstream or just downstream, just to finish the session off. There's fish here, but whether I'm overfeeding or they're not very keen. The colour looks brilliant today for the river. It's a greeny brown. You can see a fair way into the water, and when I've come up the Stour Valley, the little side streams, the Tarrant and those little streams are really running hard now, clear, which is quite early. Sometimes they don't even start flowing till December, so they're doing well this year with all the rain, the last month of rain. So further down to Wimborne it's got a lot more flow. Nice colour down there today. It's been a tough bit of fishing. I haven't fished for very long. Had half a dozen fish, 5 roach with 1 netter and a little tiny chub. This river's better than that, but not showing it today. Come back to try another swim just for a few minutes, put a bit of groundbait in. It's quite pulling really fast through here, quite deep. Last fished it back in about August or September. Some nice fish down there, so we'll see. The float wouldn't stay up, but it was a fish. Feels a lot better. Can't believe it's a roach, got to be a chub. On a tough day, that will do nicely, thank you. The hook's hooked up in the net, and I don't know what's going on here. How about that for a lovely fish? First dace of the day. It's been an interesting afternoon. I've had about 9 or 10 roach, a couple of chub, one of which was a good one tiny one, and a dace, all on bread punch on a 16. Fished 2 swims. The first swim was just mainly roach with 1 little chub, and then a bit more of a mixture in the second one, in the deeper swim the second time round. A lot of the bites have been very, very tentative. The float sort of holding it back quite hard, and it's been bobbing just a little bit, and you almost think, is that hooking on the bottom and touching the bottom an awful lot as the afternoon's gone on. It's been worthwhile to get a decent fish. It's nice, good bend in the rod. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and until next time, it's goodbye for now.